Well, AI is going to be creating the biggest competitive advantages for business owners in the next year or two, where I think 90% of businesses that don't learn how to leverage AI into their business are going to be completely crushed by business owners that know how to implement AI to do the work for them in their business and at unlimited leverage. Because if AI is able to do 80 to 90% of the work in your business, then you're able to operate your business very leanly where you don't have a big team, and you could probably service and deliver to 10 times more clients. Now, what happens to the business owners that can serve only a few amount of clients and they have to do everything manually? For them to scale, they'll need to hire more team members, they'll need to work more hours, while AI first business owners are able to scale working less hours and making more profit because AI assists them in doing the work. You know, most business owners are treating AI like a chat box or a tool where they ask ChatGPT a simple question and then ChatGPT gives them an answer, or they use ChatGPT, they give it an email and they ask it to write an email. They're doing it for so simple tasks where it doesn't feel like it's that powerful. But the thing is, AI is getting significantly more potent as developments are coming out in the AI space. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 key insights on how you could use AI to get a competitive advantage and what I see most established business owners are doing with AI to generate more money and to become more profitable. Real quick, if you want to learn how to deploy digital assets and AI systems that will do 80 to 90% of the work in your business so you can focus on what is going to make you more money and grow your revenue, I created this free cheat sheet. It's called the Chief Leverage Officer's Cheat Sheet, where I outline exactly how you can build digital assets to regain back more time in your week and which digital assets would you like to implement at each level of your business. So there's 4 levels of business operations. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Ideally, you want to get all the way up to level 4 where you have AI agents and digital assets doing all of the work for you in your business. If you want to know how to do that, you can grab the free PDF in the link below. You'll get access to everything on this cheat sheet for free. And yeah, let's continue with the video. But first, let me show you why you must learn how to implement AI into your business, not just so you can survive, but so you can thrive in the new business space. And that gets me to the first shift. So the first shift that's separating winners from losers is happening with information itself. So information can be commoditized, right? You can go on Google, you can ask for information, and now it's even easier because now you can ask ChatGPT for specific information to do things. So specialized information is going to be devalued as days pass by and the AI models are getting better and better. So the perceived value of courses, coaching, consulting is going to go down and down as more information is being fed into these AI models and how much better these AI models get. Because what's stopping your prospects from scraping through all of Google or scraping through all of YouTube, copy pasting all of the YouTube videos on one specific topic, plugging that into an AI model and asking the AI model, hey, can you create me a specific roadmap for me that'll help me get to dream outcome? The AI models would be so good at reading multiple information and the user can give their exact context and they could get exact perfect consulting or coaching based on their specific case. So if a world like that exists, which is we're already going towards that direction, already exists right now, what is the value of people buying coaching, consulting, or information or courses? Now, whether AI can produce results as good as a consultant or a coach or mentor right now, well, probably not, but it's definitely going towards that direction where AI models will get smart enough where they could give you high-level consulting and coaching specific for your context and your use cases and allow you to get to your results, allow you to get to where you want to go. Now, that doesn't mean information is entirely not valuable. What is actually valuable is specific insights and data that only you have. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say you are an email copywriter and you've been working with, let's say, more than 10 clients, and you know the specific nuances that makes people actually that makes emails actually convert, landing pages convert, and you know the nuances and the specific data and insights. That is value because AI models don't have access to that training data. So when you have specific data that is proprietary and that is intellectual property that is specific only to you and it works, people will pay for that because they know that that's going to work for them. Because there's going to be a point where people are going to be sick of trying ChatGPT that gives them generic advice that doesn't actually get them results when they're going to look for someone that is more specialized and more specific results. Because as more data is fed into a model, it gets noisier and it doesn't give you more specific action steps towards getting to a business outcome. But when you work with a consultant, they have specific action steps, specific data, specific insights that actually works, that then you could use that to get results. So what actually becomes valuable here, so let's say you're an expert and you have this specific data, what you can do is then create your mini AI model or a GPT prompt that is trained based on your material or your intellectual property, your data, your frameworks. And that AI model or that AI prompt to GPT is able then to create outcomes for your clients. That is going to be way more leveraged because not only are you able to serve your clients, you're also able to serve your clients in a leveraged fashion where it doesn't require more of your time. So what's becoming valuable is programming AI with your unique skill, insights, frameworks, and data to solve problems and create deliverables that get results in minutes. When you integrate your expertise with an AI system, you have unlimited leverage that can help as many people as you want. This is the new way smart business owners are staying ahead of the market. So that's the first shift, is understanding that information became free, but systems became valuable. So transforming what your specialized information or unique insights into an AI system is what's going to be actually valuable in the new business space. But here's where it gets really interesting. So I'm watching something happen with how successful businesses deliver their services, and it's the complete opposite of what most people are doing. So a lot of smart business owners are shifting from high churn services to high retention services. So if you think about high churn, what's high churn is when people would buy access to a coach or a mentor or a consultant, and they'll get access to them in a group setting or maybe in calls or in a course community method. Now, what's happening with these type of programs is that it has a high churn because the way of getting outcomes for your clients still relies on their ability to execute. Okay, they still need to go through your course material. They still need to show up on the call to ask you questions. They still need to reach out. And the lag between the information and execution is so long. And because it takes so long, naturally people won't get results as fast as they'd like to, or they won't be able to do action or take or execute in a way where they get results quickly, where they'll naturally churn. They'll either lose motivation to continue doing the work because it's reliant on them taking action, they just give up. Or two, they just can't keep up with how fast the business space is going. Now, what happens if you, again, same thing in insight number one, if you package your insights or the way you do deliverables into an AI system that could spit out these outcomes and deliverables for you, then you make it 10 times easier for clients to execute and get the value that they need and get the business outcomes, either more leads, more appointments, more presentation, more sales. It is easier for them to get that because you have an AI system that does the work for them. So you've literally taken off all of the responsibility for them to execute. Well, they'll likely still need to execute, but now the AI system can do at least 80 to 90% of the work. And what happens is that clients or your customers will find that way more valuable, and they're more likely to continuously pay for that service. Because if a service continuously gets them business outcomes and it doesn't require them to do much work, why would they cancel? Now, people cancel or churn when they're a part of a program where it feels like they need to execute more, they need to do more work, and the business outcomes aren't that guaranteed. Or it could happen, it might not happen. AI systems, well, you're getting a deliverable no matter what, so it reduces the feedback loop so you can get faster to what works. And that's what people are willing to pay for, faster results. So the coaching, consulting, and mentoring that survives isn't going to be generic, ask me anything model, have access to a community. It's going to be expertise packaged into AI systems that deliver results. So the successful business owners in the online space I'm watching right now are building around first. Then they're adding the human element as a premium layer. Not that having access to you is bad. It's actually good. You can charge a lot of money for that. But having AI systems as the foundation is what's going to allow you to get more people into your world and to maintain that retention. Because after a certain point, people no one's ever going to pay high ticket for super long time, but having access to AI systems that are proprietary to you that continues to get results, that'll allow you to have high retention and higher MRR. So you must become known for your unique systems and frameworks and not just your availability as a coach, consultant, or mentor. So this isn't just happening to coaches, consultants, and mentors. This is also happening to agencies, or if you are a service provider that has to deliver digital services, then AI systems is one of the number one things you want to implement as well. So agencies and freelancers are looking at their business processes and figure out how can they get 80% of the repetitive work in their business to be done by an AI agent or an AI process. Because if you think about it, most agency work requires doing repetitive things like creating marketing assets like ads, content, sales assets like funnels, or deliverables that generate revenue for clients. And each has a standardized process or somewhat of a standardized process that they go through. There's a research process, there's a creation process, there's an analysis process. In all of your processes, you can look for ways that AI can augment, collaborate with you, or actually create deliverables for any of those processes. So here's what I'm seeing winning agencies do. So let's say SEO agencies. So they're using AI to write blogs at scale. So they're giving the structure of a winning blog post, they're giving it to AI, and they're asking AI to scrape the internet, look for other high-performing blog posts, and then to create blog posts very quickly for their clients. So instead of having content writers, they have AI write the content, and they can also have AI research what type of content works. On top of that, they can ask AI to find the top-performing keywords because AI has access to the internet and can web scrape way faster than how a human would. So let's say you're an agency that runs ads. So what I see what some winning agencies doing is they'd use AI to script different variations of scripts and then decide which script matches best for their client. They then use image generation models to quickly split test different types of ads and potentially using even video generation models where they could test different creative angles and strategies that they could use before they actually film the real ad. Now, the benefit of this is that instead of spending a ton of money with influencers or videographers to create that ad, you have AI create a prototype so you can know clearly what works, and then you just record exactly what you need and you save the cost in there. So there's many ways you could use AI to save costs and to be more productive. And finally, let's say funnels. You could use AI to help create the landing page. You can vibe code landing pages nowadays. You can use AI to help with the landing page copy. You can even use AI to track your conversion rate on your landing page and let it know when your conversion rates are highest and what tweaks you've made. So here's the thing, the agencies or the digital service providers that refuse to use AI will eventually be outcompeted by the agencies that use AI, because not only agencies that use AI will be able to charge lower prices, they'll also have higher profit margins because they don't need to spend as much on operational costs. They can have a smaller team, they can even serve more clients because the AI does most of the work. So this is something that if you're a digital service provider or an agency, AI should be one of the number one things you should be looking at in terms of how can you get it to do some of the operational work in your business. In the meantime, if you run an agency and you're able to provide more deliverables because you use AI, you're able to charge more money because you're delivering way more than what the competition is. And because your AI processes is developed based on your unique frameworks and your systems, that will be able to actually deliver results. So agencies are using AI to work faster and they're charging more money for their unique processes. Now, what happens if you're a content creator or if you're creating content? You might be thinking, this sounds really overwhelming where there's so much stuff you need to do with AI. But actually, content creators have the biggest opportunity of all right now. And that gets me to insight number 4. So if you're a smart content creator, smart content creators are using AI to leverage their unique insights to then expand their content reach. So the way most content creators are using AI is they just ask it basically, hey, can you write me a thread on this topic? And if you ask AI right away to write the thread, it's going to create the worst thread possible. It's probably going to have emojis, it's probably going to have hashtags, it's probably going to have the M dashes that are really annoying, and it's going to have all that. So the smart content creators, what they're doing is they're collecting all of their highest performing content and creating a swipe file or a file that AI can reference. And they feed that to AI and they ask AI to create content based on high performing content. So whatever the AI creates, it is at least 80% to the point that it is usable. Maybe then as a content creator, you'd go in, you make a few tweaks, and then you publish it. So the goal with AI is to scale what works and not scale noise. So if you have content that is already performing, you could feed that to AI to amplify your output and to amplify your leverage. So this is going to be more important than ever because there's going to be more content online. AI is going to flood the market with content. So making sure you get content right and giving it the right data and being able to compete with everyone else posting tons of content, but having your content actually stand out and perform well is what's going to make you stand out from other content creators. Now, the thing is, text content is very easy to create using AI. So it is going to be harder to stand out using text content. Not that you can't stand out, but it's going to be hard to stand out. But video content is still at a point where it's hard to replicate. So you can still tell a video is AI. So one good competitive advantage in the meantime is to focus on video, especially YouTube. I like YouTube because if you are able to record a video and you're able to gain the trust, you're able to build a personal brand and audience, who knows when there's going to be perfect AI avatars. There are AI avatars, but it's not as good where it looks hyper realistic yet. So while everyone is pumping out AI generated text posts, you could dominate with strategic video content that showcases your actual expertise. So I don't believe this window will last forever, but right now this is the perfect time to establish yourself as a go-to expert in your niche through consistent, valuable video content, specifically YouTube. So the creators who build their audience now, before AI makes video creation effortless, will have a massive head start when the playing field levels and when everyone has access to super hyper-realistic AI avatars. All right, so we went over how you want to use AI as an advantage before other people, but there's one thing that all these opportunities I just shared require one critical element that most business owners don't have. And this is insight number 5, and this is a big one. So the number one thing you want right now is execution. You want to execute as soon as possible before other people start using AI, and then it doesn't become a competitive advantage anymore. So the execution advantage is massive right now for business owners who understand these new AI tools. So we reached a point now where AI can now act as your consultant, your software developer if you use Cloud Code or Cursor, your business partner if you give it your exact business data and you give it your business mechanism information, it can act as your business partner, and project manager if you give it access to your project board. And that is if you know how to leverage it properly. So if you can give AI access to your digital assets, it can then act as an assistant for you, or effectively as a virtual assistant. Not only that, but the combination with no-code tools such as NA10, Make, and all of these other tools that most of the AI automation gurus are talking about on YouTube, that reduces the execution. You can now execute ideas at 1/10 the time, at 1/10 the cost than you used to do before. Before, if you needed help, you'd hire a business coach, a consultant. If you needed a software developer, you'd have to hire a software developer to develop a SaaS for you. Before, if you needed a project manager, you need to hire a project manager. If you needed someone to do some manual tasks for you, you'd hire a virtual assistant. But that is all gone now. Now you can have AI do all of that work for you. Because let me give you an example. Problem identification, let's say market research, that used to take months and now can be done with AI tools like Gemini within seconds. You can ask Gemini to scrape online and to give you a full case study report on your product idea or whatever you're trying to, or your unique value proposition. You can then build a functional minimum viable app using Cursor or Lovable or Cloud Code, and you can have it function within as little as a week or maybe 2 weeks, when before you'd need to hire a software developer and pay thousands of dollars for them to develop that app for you. Not only that, but then validating your MVP, but now you can validate your MVP very quickly. You could vibe code really quickly, a simple landing page and a wait list, and have AI do that for you. Then you can quickly run some quick ads, get people to your landing page, see if people will actually buy it and spend money, and then boom, you already have product market fit. So what's happening here is if you see a problem in the market or a gap that can be monetized and that can be solved with an app or a piece of software, you can test it and develop it within 2 to 4 weeks and see if people actually pay for it, when before it would take months. You can literally bootstrap a profitable business within 6 months working solo using AI. And this is crazy because the competitive advantage right now is that most business owners don't realize how accessible, cheap resources has become. With AI, getting resources to develop your business has become very cheap. While most business owners are still thinking in terms of hiring developers, waiting months for MVPs, hiring managers, you can be testing and launching solutions rapidly. You can test content, you can test different angles, you can test many different things with AI. And if you're an expert in your field, you have a unique window to solve problems with digital solutions before everyone else catches on. So the barrier to entry is the lowest it's ever been, which means the opportunity for early movers or first movers is the highest it's ever been. So let's connect all these insights together. So insight number one, information has become free, but your expertise packaged into systems is actually valuable. Successful businesses are building systems instead of chasing individual clients. They're using AI systems to deliver for their clients at mass. Agencies are using AI to work faster while charging more for their unique processes, and because they can deliver more business outcomes because AI does the work for them. Content creators have a window to dominate with video because AI has made text content very noisy, so making video content easier to stand out with. And finally, you can now execute and test out software ideas or app ideas that you had very quickly because of apps such as Cloud Code, Cursor, Lovable, and so on. And that's why 90% of businesses will fail in the next 5 years and only 10% will actually thrive and make tons of profit. And the winners understand that the key to surviving in the new business space isn't working harder, it's learning how to use AI to do the work for them. Because AI has unlimited leverage. Not only that, AI will allow you to operate your business on 2 hours a day, where you focus mainly on the stuff that requires a human in the loop, like strategy, making sure you're actually running the system and not actually doing the work in your business. So the question is, are you going to be a part of the 10% that will dominate using AI, or are you going to be the part of the 90% that refuses to use AI and remain the same? The choice is yours. I know what I'm choosing. I'm choosing to use AI. And if you want to learn more on how I'm going to use AI in my business, feel free to subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be sharing more ways and insights on how I'm using AI to get things done in my business, from content creation all the way to client delivery. If you want that, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.